nearlydanish.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get ready to rumble!
So this is the last part of frequently asked questions. We've done 1 to 4. This is the last one. We've talked about this before. And like I always say, don't feel bad if you don't do too well on these Kahoots. They're just for you to figure out what you don't know. All right, so only 6 people got this wrong. Like I said before, don't feel bad if you don't do well in the Kahoots. They're just there to show you what you don't know. And with this new reporting module that I've shown you, it becomes obvious what you don't know. And that gives you a guide on what you need to work on. I'm going to keep developing that module so that, it can be of more help to you guys. Okay, so 6 people got this wrong. This is talking about the civil servants working in the ministries. So how the ministries work is you've got a minister for every ministry. That minister is appointed by the prime minister and is part of the government. Now, in the ministries, you've got the civil servants, so the actual people working there. And they are not appointed. They are employed based on their qualifications. So it's just like any other job. All right, so 6 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. This is going to show up in your report. We're moving on to the next one. All right. You've seen this before. All right, 13 people got this wrong. Okay, so the question is, can a government consist of one or more parties that don't together have a majority in parliament? And the answer is yes. And the way that can happen, and this is, since World War II, most of the governments have been minority governments. And the way that can happen is if the government, say for instance, the Social Democrats don't get a majority in parliament, they can get support from the supporting parties, and they make a deal and then they form a government. However, for the first time, there is a majority government at the moment because it's made up of the moderates, Social Democrats, and Venstre, and together they have a majority in parliament. So 13 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know.
Now you know what you don't know.
This will show up in your report and you can fill that knowledge gap later. All right. Amelia is the highest climber, up 20 places.
Excellent.
All right, next one. We still have a long way to go. All right, so there's 24 Burat and 2 Landsrat. Well, this is a frequently asked question, as is every single question in this Kahoot. 9 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Round of applause to the 49 people that got this right. So the numbers are not looking too bad, actually. Round of applause. All right, so Peanut is now at number 1. Peanut, you shouldn't have put the heart at the end of your name because this is not going to track your score. But anyways, next time use the exact same name as you've always used in the previous Kahoots. So you put Peanut with a heart, but I've seen your name show up before with just Peanut. So anyways, just a hint. Shanty 22 is the highest climber, up 12 places.
Excellent.
Next one. All right, so it's the prime minister that calls the election, and they can call it whenever within the deadline. So the election was actually supposed to happen this year, but Mette Frederiksen called it early last year, and it happened on the 1st of November 2022. It was pretty successful for her because the Social Democrats actually gained one extra seat. 9 people got this wrong. Well, now you know what you don't know. This is a frequently asked question, so you need to know this. All right. 5 players just hit an answer streak of 3.
Great job.
Next one. All right, so in 2007, I've forgotten what this thing was called, but the number of communes and so number of communes dropped from 270 to 98, and I think they're called Anton or something like that. They were switched from that to the regions, and there are 5 regions. So 3 people got this. No, sorry, 5 people got this wrong.
Now you know what you don't know.
It's going to show up in your report, and you can plug that up. Next one. All right, so SA has the highest answer streak of 5.
Perfect score.
And I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl. I'll say it's a guy. He's on fire.
Oh my! He's on fire!
All right, next one. We've got 39 questions to go. We've talked about this a bunch of times. Manos, that's fine. Just pick up from where we are, and everything will be okay. So 7 people got this wrong. We've talked about this a bunch of times. A way to remember this is by the formula 4-4-5. Okay, 4-4-5. So every 4 years we've got parliament elections. Every 4 years we've got regional and communal elections, and every 5 years we've got European Parliament elections. All right, 7 people got this wrong. Not too bad. Next one. Okay, so at the moment we have SJPD at number 1, DA at number 2, SA 3, OMO 4, and SESI 5. Tula has the highest answer streak of 6.
Perfect score.
And he's on fire.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. Wow. This is interesting. I was actually expecting a lot more people to get this right. Well, this is an obvious weak spot, so 22 people got this wrong. Only the state and the communes can collect tax. The regions cannot collect their own taxes. The regions are funded by the state and the commune, I think. Please check the book for that information. You're going to hear me say this all the time. I'm not the holy grail of all this information. I do know a lot of stuff, but, it's fuzzy in my head. I've forgotten a lot of things, but as I'm going through the quizzes and going through these sessions with you guys, I remember things. So it's actually good for me as well. However, please always check the book, okay? I hope you downloaded the book and I hope you're reading the book as well as taking the quizzes, all right? Because a lot of, well, some of the information in the book has changed. Not too much because history is frozen in time. Some things have been added. The biggest chunk was added in chapter 6. And I have created quizzes for those. All right, moving on. Yes, this question showed up in the last quiz in a slightly different form. So the question in the last quiz was, can the region collect taxes? And the answer is no. Whereas in this form, they were asking which public authorities can collect taxes. Okay, so I know nothing. One, you should have used your regular name without the one in front of it, because I remember seeing your name, and unfortunately this session is not going to get tracked under that name. So please, guys, be consistent with the names that you're using in the Kahoot. Use the same name all the time so you can keep track on what you don't know. This is going to help you, okay? All right, moving on to the next one. I know nothing, making a comeback with 3 in a row, and he's on fire.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. We've seen this before. Yes, so so for someone to get voted into parliament, he or she has to be a member of a political party. Now, when you get into parliament, you can choose to leave that party because you might not agree with the principles of that party any longer. And when you leave, if and when you leave your party, you can still keep your seat in parliament. And that's what this question is about. So 13 of you got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. On to the next one. These are frequently asked questions, okay? So in the frequently asked questions, there's about 185 of them, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken. And you need to know the answers to every single one of those questions so that you're ready for ready if any one of those questions shows up in the next test. Okay, I think I've discussed the strategy on how to prepare for this test with you guys. It's a combination of new questions and FAQs. Okay, this is the last part of the FAQs that we're doing. All right, Mary is back in the game with 3 in a row, and she's on fire.
She's on fire!
All right, next one. All right, so court cases are open to be observed by everyone in the public if they choose to. And that's the case for every single case, except the cases where the doors are closed. 16 people got this wrong.
Now you know what you don't know.
It's going to show up in your report. Plug that knowledge gap. 3 players lost their answer streak of 8. Sorry, guys. Next one. So this is what's this law? Public So basically, the law is basically you have access to the data of all the public authorities. You can actually go to one of their offices and request to have a look at the documents. How many people got this wrong? 13 people got this wrong. I've forgotten what this is called in English. On to the next one. Okay, someone fell out of the top 5. So we have SJPD at number 1, DA at number 2, Peanut number 3, 77, 4, and Lilia at 5. 5 players just hit an answer streak of 3.
Great job.
Next one. Yeah, right to information. Freedom of information. Yeah. There's a specific phrase for it, I've forgotten. Okay, so in Denmark, there are rights and obligations. Okay, so there are rights that are protected by grundloven. So right to private property, right to express yourself, and so on and so forth. But there are also obligations. Okay, so there's an undervisningsplikt, so an obligation to be educated in something. There's værneplikt, so that's an obligation. It's basically obligatory military service for men, and this thing called a borgerlig ombud, where you can be called in for jury duty, for instance. This is a frequently asked question, and by jury duty I mean, like, in a court case, they might select you as one of the members of the jury to decide on whether the person that's being charged with the crime is guilty or not. 24 people got this wrong. This was a weak spot.
Now you know what you don't know.
It's going to show up in your report. Plug that gap. You might see it in the next test. Someone fell out of the top 5. Can't remember who. Krish is now in at number 5. Lilia up at number 4. 3 players just hit an answer streak of 4.
Excellent.
On to the next one. So the law for pension was adopted. The first law for pension was adopted in 1956. There's not much else to say about this, honestly. It's just a date that you need to remember. In 1953, so 3 years before, was the year that grundloven was changed for the last time. And wait, it's 53, right? Yes. Pardon me, I'm a bit tired. It's 53. 53, grundloven was changed to allow females to inherit the throne. That's why Margaret II is on the throne. 3 years later, the first law for folkepension was adopted. 16 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Plug the knowledge gap. It will show up in your report. Peanut is climbing the charts now at number 2. Tula is back with an answer streak of 3.
Oh my! He's on fire!
All right, next one. So the responsibilities of the commune, the state, and the region. Wow, okay. Round of applause. So 3 people chose Bonahel Focus School, and that's the responsibility of the commune. The region is in charge of, is responsible for the hospitals and your health insurance. And the state is responsible for the police and universities. Now you know what you don't know. Plug that knowledge gap. Not too many of you got this wrong. For the 3 people that got this wrong,
Now you know what you don't know.
plug the gap. Okay, static top 5.
Static top 5.
Sonia has a streak with 13 correct answers in a row.
Wow!
Perfect score.
She's on fire.
She's on fire.
Ah, I gave this away, but let's see if you guys were paying attention. Wow.
Wow!
I feel like giving it an explosion, but we're not past the halfway point. So,
Perfect score.
all right, this is really good. This has been completely plugged. Right, next one. Static top 5.
Static top 5.
WP has just hit an answer streak of 3.
Excellent.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. Ah, almost perfect score. Round of applause. So 70% of the employees in Denmark are members of at least one union. Okay, moving on.
Static top 5.
KKR is making a comeback with 3 in a row.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. Okay, so the European Parliament. So the elections are held in the country, or the member country. So for instance, the elections are held in Denmark, and it's the public that votes those politicians directly into the European Parliament. That's what this means. This is obviously a weak spot. 29 people got this wrong, so almost half of you got this wrong. This is the first time most of you have seen this question, so
Now you know what you don't know.
plug the gap. Next one. Lilia fell out of the top 5, sorry. 9 players reached an answer streak of 5.
Excellent.
You've got SJPDP.DA, Krish, and 77 in the top 5. Next one. This is chapter 5, I think. Yeah, this is just one of those books that you need to remember the name of. Go to chapter 5, make a list of all those people and the books they wrote, the songs they wrote, the poems they wrote, when they wrote them, the movies they directed, blah, 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 all that stuff. Because a lot of the time, new questions show up from that chapter. So please do that. 23 people got this wrong. And by the way, there is a quiz. Basically, there's quizzes that cover the whole book. So have a look on the website as well. Next one. 5 players just hit an answer streak of 5.
Great job.
Next one. So someone is asking, does anyone have the list ready to share? Maybe you can make the list and share it in the group. This is another one of those chapter 5 questions. All right, so 16 people got this wrong. This is another one of those chapter 5 questions. Luca Pair was written by Henrik Pontoppidan. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, actually. Well, it's a weak spot for 16 people. Now you know what you don't know.
Static top 5.
Gush is the highest climber up 3 places.
Excellent.
Next one, we're getting to the halfway point soon. This should be a no-brainer. Hopefully. Okay, so Denmark's most famous sculptor is called Bertel Thorvaldsen, and there is a museum very close to Parliament named after him. It's a big yellow building. It's got his work, his sculptures in there, and he is also buried in there. So go check it out. I actually haven't been there before. Maybe I should go. But anyways, 12 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Next one. Krish overtook DA and took the number 3 spot now on the podium. 10 players have reached an answer streak of 3.
Excellent.
Next one. Okay, so Arne Jacobsen was a famous architect and designer, and he designed Denmark's national bank. You can find that close to Kongens Nytorv, if I'm not mistaken. 19 people got this wrong. On to the next one. Taxia, yes, you can enter the game. Not sure if you can use the same name, but you can try. If not, just change your name. OMO has a streak with 20 correct answers in a row. Wow.
Wow!
Perfect score.
All right. Okay, so at the moment we have Peanut at number 1, Christian number 2, DA number 3, SJPD fell from number 1 to number 4. And Ceci is now in the top 5 at number 5. So there's a lot of movement in this top 5. We have 24 questions to go. This is another one of those chapter 5 questions. As you can see, they show up a lot in the frequently asked questions, and they also show up as new questions. So chapter 5 is one of the most important chapters. You have to know that chapter like the back of your hand. 22 people got this wrong. It's Sufilm. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. But, well, you know what to do. Make that list. 40 people got it right. Round of applause.
Static top 5.
All right, 3 players just hit an answer streak of 3.
Excellent.
Next one. Another one of those chapter 5 questions. It was Paul Henningsen. So he designed the P-hole lamp, so the pH lamp. That's super famous and super expensive. Okay, so more than half of you got this wrong. Well, this is definitely a weak spot. Plug that knowledge gap.
Now you know what you don't know.
This is looking like it's going to be a combo breaker. Let's see if it affected the top 5. Okay, some people fell out and OMO came in. I think she has a perfect score. SJPD has fallen from number 1 to number 5. Everyone else is holding their positions. Kirby 9 is the highest climber, up 5 places.
Excellent.
Great job.
Next one. We are more than halfway through now. All right, round of applause. I think it's called Molahoy, if I'm not mistaken. It's in Ostjylland or something. Anyways, 3 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Next one. OMO fell out. She lost her streak. 3 players have reached an answer streak of 3.
Great job.
Next one. Everyone should know this. You guys are really doing well, you know? Well done. Wow.
Wow!
Only 3 people got this wrong. Okay, so there's a new entry in the top 5, APP. 3 in a row. N is back in the game.
Excellent.
Next one. Yeah, this is a no-brainer. Hopefully you all get this right so I can give you an explosion. Oh man. Aarhus is in Jylland. It's not on Fyn. Okay, only 4 people got this wrong.
Now you know what you don't know.
Next one. What? Tina, you got that wrong? Anyways, Krish is now number 1. DA2, SJPD now back on the podium at number 3. APP4 and Sassy back in the top 5 at number 5. 4 players just hit an answer streak of 9.
Great job.
Okay, next one. We talked about this a bunch of times. Okay, so I'll explain it. Okay, so 15 people got this wrong. So Denmark is made up of 1 peninsula and 2 islands. Okay, peninsula is called Jylland. It's furthest to the left. So imagine that this red block here is Jylland. Imagine that this one in the middle here is Fyn. And imagine that this one here is Sjælland. Okay, so when you go from left to right, you've got Lillebælt between Jylland and Fyn. You've got Storebælt between Fyn and Sjælland. And you've got Øresund between Sjælland and Sweden. Okay, Now, across those bodies of water, you have bridges. Now, they're named after the body of water. So you have Lillebeltsbron, Storebeltsbron, and Orsensbron. I hope that explains it. I've done this like, I don't know, a bunch of times. Hopefully it sticks. How many people got this wrong? 15 people got this wrong.
Now you know what you don't know.
Next one. It's going to show up in your reports. You can plug that gap. 23 players have reached an answer streak of 4. Round of applause. Next one. Okay, so Absalon is the bishop that founded Copenhagen. There is a statue of him. Where is that statue? Is it? It's not in Kongsnitov. It's at Gammelstrand, if I'm not mistaken. So if you get off at what's the name of that place? Gammelstrand station, and you look, there's this guy on a horse with an axe in his hand, and that's him. Yeah, there's not much else to say about that. 19 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Okay, so DA fell out of the top 5. SJPD slowly making their way back to number 1. 4 players reached an answer streak of 11.
Excellent.
Next one. Okay, so 2/3 of the land in Denmark is actually cultivated land. There's not much else to say about that. Just remember the number. 17 people got this wrong. Round of applause to the people who got it right. APP now at number 2. SJPD fell to number 3. 5 players lost the answer streak of 5. Next one. Yes, so the statue is at Højbrosplatz. Can't remember where that is, but it's somewhere close to whatchamacallit, Kongsnyttor. I'm talking about Absalon here. Anyways, 7 people got this wrong, not too bad. Conference. Okay, so there's a trick to this. Okay, so if the name of so basically all the kings in Denmark are either Frederick or Christian. So if a king's name is Frederick or a crown prince, so a crown prince means that the person is in line to be king. So if a crown prince's name or a king's name is Frederick, then his first son is always Christian. And if the crown prince or king's name is Christian, then his first son is always Frederick. So keep that in mind. All right. 7 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Sama is back in the game 3 in a row.
She's on fire.
All right. We got 14 questions to go. Okay, so 1980s and 90s, a lot of refugees came from the Middle East, Sri Lanka, Somalia, and the Balkans. Some people got this wrong. This is in chapter is this? I think this is chapter 6 under immigration into Denmark. Okay, but I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Just check. Some people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. It will show up in your reports. SJPD is gunning for that #1 spot. OMO is back in the game with 3 in a row, and she's on fire.
She's on fire.
Okay, next one. Yes, this is a no-brainer. You've seen this before. Please get this right so I can give you an explosion. Oh man. Okay. So the Danish Commonwealth. So Rigsfællesskab is made up of Denmark, Greenland, and the Faroe Islands. So 3 countries in a Commonwealth called Rigsfællesskab. Okay, remember that. You're probably going to see it in the next test. Next one. Oh man, SJPD messed up, man. Oh, sorry, man. Completely fell out of the top 5. Amelia is making a comeback with 3 in a row, and
she's on fire.
Ceci jumped. I remember seeing Ceci at #5. Now she's at #2 on the podium. Peanuts is back in the top 5 at #4. DA is back in the top 5 at #5. We've got 13 questions to go.
Uh-oh.
Let's see how you guys do on this. Okay, it's called Nuke. 6 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Momo is the highest climber, up 3 places.
Excellent.
Static top 5.
All right, there's no movement in the top 5. We've got Krish, Ceci, APP, Peanuts, and DA, and we have 12 questions to go. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't even remember this date. Let's see if you guys do. Never quite understood this Yem Stewart thing. Anyways. Yeah, this is definitely a combo breaker. Exactly 50% of you got this wrong. Please look in the book for this. I have not much of an explanation for this. I have to look in the book myself, actually. It's 1979. Moving on to the next one. Peanut fell out. Krish holding #1. DA now on the podium at #3. Manos now in the top 5. Sonia is the highest climber, up 5 places.
Excellent.
We've got 11 questions to go. You've seen this before. Tycho Brahe was an astronomer, and he discovered the constellation called Cassiopeia. I think he was also a noble. Anyways, there's a statue of him just beside Rundtorn, and he had, if I'm not mistaken, he had a golden eye patch or something like that. But anyways, 11 people got this wrong. Not too bad, 52 people got this right. Round of applause. Okay.
Static top 5.
Manos has 32 correct answers in a row, and he's on fire.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. I just gave you the answer to this. Well, let's see if you guys were listening. Okay, at least 57 of you guys were listening, 56 of you guys weren't. Okay, Tycho Brahe discovered Cassiopeia, like I said before. 5 of you got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. It will show up in your report. APP back on the podium at number 3. 3 players reached an answer streak of 4.
Great job!
We've got 9 questions to go.
Uh-oh.
The name should kind of give it away, but let's see. Wait. Yes, so Ørsted, the biggest electricity company in Denmark, is named after him. Niels Bohr discovered the model of the atom, and I can't remember what Ole Roma did. Anyways, 24 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know.
Now you know what you don't know.
Plug the knowledge gap. Let's see if it affected the top 5. APP, it did affect APP. APP fell from the podium now at number 5. DA on the podium at number 3. Manos is moving up in the world now at number 4. 16 players just hit an answer streak of 3.
Great job!
We've got 8 questions to go. We're almost at the end now. Okay, so in Denmark, everyone has religious freedom except the monarch, except the king or the queen, because they always have to be the head of Dansk Folkekirke. Yeah, this question shows up in different ways. Sometimes they say, is the monarch included in religious freedom? And the answer is no. In this case, it's should Denmark's queen always be, well, should Denmark's queen be a member of Dansk Folkekirke? And the answer is yes. Okay, 6 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Next one.
Static top 5.
SJPD is back with an answer streak of 3.
Oh my! He's on fire!
We've got 7 questions to go. Yeah, I just gave away the answer, but let's see if you guys were listening. This is a no-brainer, actually. Okay, like I said before, right, in Denmark, there is religious freedom, so you're free to choose any religion, except the queen or the king, because they always have to be the head of the church. So, question here is there, as a Danish citizen, must you be a member of Dansk Folkekirke? And the answer is no. 4 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Next one, plug that knowledge gap. Static top 5.
Static top 5.
Lanny is back with an answer streak of 3. I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl. I'm guessing it's a girl.
She's on fire.
Next one. Oh, wow. 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 Round of applause. Okay, so I've been waiting all night for this. Here's the explosion for you guys. Okay, well done, well done. I had actually given up on that, you know. Good job.
Great job.
Kirby9 is back with an answer streak of 3.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Got 5 questions to go and we're done. Okay, so a married couple can choose to split even if one person doesn't want to. Choose to split meaning choose, you know, one person can say, I don't want to be married to you anymore, I want to get a divorce, and it doesn't matter what the other person says, they can get the divorce. 5 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Next one. Manos, 38 correct answers in a row. Wow. Wow! Round of applause, man. This should be a no-brainer. Hopefully this is another explosion. Okay, so you cannot discriminate against people based on their race or their ethnic background. So that's not allowed. It's against the law. 11 people got this wrong. This is kind of like a no-brainer, right? Anyways, 11 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Next one. 5 players lost the answer streak of 7. We got 3 questions to go. Before we move on, now that we are in the heat of the moment, let me show you, for the people that showed up that didn't see this. Okay, so I've developed a module on the website. I will be sharing the link so you can have access to this. So this module contains the results of all the Kahoots. And the special thing about the module is you can actually, it says see results. You click in and you have a look at the results. It'll load up in a second. Pardon the user interface. I know it's a bit crappy, but it does the job. And then you can actually see the scores and the people, okay? The people that took part in the Kahoot. And you can actually click on their name. So if, for instance, I saw Kirby9 in the current Kahoot that we're taking right now. So when you click on his name, you like his or her name, you'll see all the Kahoots that he's taken part in. He's got 151 correct answers so far, 79 incorrect answers, and he has gathered 141,000 points in Kahoot so far. And then it goes on to show you the questions you got wrong. So this is the point where I say, now you know what you don't know. So literally now you know what you don't know, okay? You don't know 79 things. So I'm still developing this module. You're going to be able to clear out these 79 things where there'll be a button here that says clean up or whatever, where you can click on that and do a quiz And keep doing the quiz until you clean it out, and then these will disappear, okay? And that way, you just keep on plugging your knowledge gaps. Right now, you're sure of 151 questions. You're not sure of 79. Clean them up, and there's more. So there's like over 1,000 questions that you need to know the answers to. And this all feeds back into the strategy, okay? Which is the secret sauce to passing the test is get familiar with the questions, okay? Are the links to the scores and the wrong answers available? What scores and what wrong answers? I'm not sure what you mean, man, but maybe you can write me on Facebook or something, and we can discuss that. All right. Here we go. So we've got 3 questions to go. So does this quiz session, is it conducted every day? No. So the quiz happens, sorry, the Kahoots happen every Wednesday and Sunday at 8 p.m. without fail. Okay? So come and practice. And once you get into the system, your name is gonna show up on the site, and you're gonna hear me talk about a whole bunch of stuff about different strategies. I'm guessing this is your first time here. For the people that haven't been here, the people that have been coming, they know all about this stuff, and I don't want to keep them waiting. We've got 3 questions to go. We're moving on. Next one. This should be a no-brainer. Please let this be an explosion. Okay, this is obviously not an explosion. So does Danish law protect you against discrimination based on your gender? And of course, the answer is yes. 19 people got this wrong. Next one. Okay, static top 5.
Static top 5.
Kat is back with an answer streak of 3.
She's on fire.
2 questions to go. All right. So let this be done, and I'll say some things. All right. So you guys have always heard me say this. Please read the question very slowly. Okay? I know the Kahoots, I kind of put you under a bit more pressure than you are under during the exam. I only give you 20 seconds to answer the question. Okay? In the exam, you have 1 minute per question. I'm training you like this on purpose so that the exam is easy for you. Okay? Read the question slowly. 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 Okay? Make sure you understand what the question is asking. And then you read the answers slowly. And after you're done reading everything slowly, you go ahead and answer. Okay? Remember, the test is not a Kahoot. You don't get points for speed. In these Kahoots, you get points for speed. So all the 55 people that got this right don't have the same points because some of them answered the question in 1 second. Some people took 10 seconds. Okay? Remember that. Slowly. All right. We're moving to the last question. All right. At the moment, we've got Krish, Sassy, DA, Manos, APP. JKM is making a comeback with 3 in a row.
Excellent.
Last question.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so this threw 24 people for a loop. I'm not surprised. This is well, the least frequently asked question, but it's been asked more than once. Berlingske Times is the oldest newspaper in Denmark. It was launched on the 3rd of January, 1749. So it's old. Okay. This was the last FAQ. Link to the Kahoot page. All right. Give me 1 second. Man, I'm not done with this yet. Okay, so basically it's nearlydanish.com/Kahoots. Okay. I'm gonna put the links here. So I'm gonna send you this link. Save the link. And yes, it says 0. I can see that. But I'm going to put the links there so you could get to everything else, because I don't want to give you the other links. You're going to be able to get to those links. However, what am I doing here now? So Kahoot/player, you'll get a list of all the players. Let this load up. So it's a leaderboard. And man, why is it that things don't work when you're trying to demo them to people, man? It's so frustrating. Come on, man. Work. Jeez. Okay. Whatever. Moving on. All right, podium time. Yeah, maybe because many people are trying, right? Okay. Podium. We've got DA at number 3, Bessie at number 2, and Krish at number 1. All right, we've got Manos 4 and APB at 5.
nearlydanish.com.